CQDX, CQDX. This is Havana calling. CQDX, CQDX, CQDX. This is Radio Havana calling all shortwave listeners and radio amateurs. Welcome to... DXers Unlimited, Radio Havana's weekly feature dedicated to the fascinating world of radio communications.
Hi, mis amigos radio aficionados all over the world. You are now listening to the weekend edition of DXers Unlimited with yours truly, Arnie Coro, at the microphone here at Radio Havana Cuba. And here's now item 1. Up-to-date information about the sun was published by the SIDC Solar Bulletin on the 7th of September. The SIDC forecast says that solar flares are not going to happen. White conditions, less than 50% probability of C-class solar flares. Geomagnetism, active condition expected, a higher or equal to 20 or K equals 4. Solar protons, quiet. Predictions for 7th of September, the 10 centimeter solar flux, 0.67, and the AP index, planetary index, is 0.11. Predictions for the 8th of September, same 67, and a little less AP of 10. And for the 9th of 10 centimeter solar flux, 0.67. Rock bottom activity. And AP also very low, 0.06. Comments. Solar activity was at very low levels. The sun remains spotless. No Earth-directed coronal mass ejections were observed in the available imagery. So despite the fact that we are now just a few days away from the equinoctial season, activity is expected to be very poor, especially during the local daylight hours. Here is now item 2 of today's program, answering a question sent by several listeners who want to know what we really mean when we talk about sunspot numbers. Sí, amigos, yes, my friends, we must mean the scientists track solar cycles by counting sunspots one by one. There are cool planet-sized areas of the sun where intense magnetic loops can be spotted through the star's visible surface. They can be easily seen. But counting sunspots is not as straightforward as it sounds in the first place. Suppose you look at the sun through a pair of very well and properly protected filters, low-power binoculars, you might be able to see 2 or 3 large spots. An observer looking through a high-power telescope, also with protection devices, might see 10 or maybe 20 sunspot figures sometimes. A powerful space-based observatory could see even more. And now here is the dilemma. The question everybody asks, which is the correct sunspot number? That's the question. It's the fact that there are 2 official sunspot numbers in common use around the world. The first is known as the daily Boulder sunspot number and is computed by the NOAA Space Environment Center using a formula derived by Swiss astronomer Rudolf Wolf way back in 1848. R equals K, parenthesis 10G plus S, and closing the parenthesis, where R is the sunspot number, G is the number of sunspot groups on the solar disk, S is the total number of individual spots counted in all the groups, and K is the variable, scaling factor, usually less than 1, but taking into account the observing conditions and the type of telescope as well as the observer. Scientists combine data from lots of observatories around the world, each with its own different K factor, to arrive at a daily value of the sunspots. The Boulder number is usually about 25% higher than the second official index, known as the ISN, the International Sunspot Number, published daily by the Solar Influx Data Center in Belgium. Both the Boulder and the international numbers are calculated from the same basic formula. Data from different observatories, and that makes a difference at all. Now, something quite interesting as a rule of thumb. If you divide either of the official sunspot numbers by 15, you'll get the approximate number of individual sunspots visible on the solar disk if you look at the sun by projecting its image on a paper plate with a small telescope, and that you can do easily. Now, our next news item. Recently, my shortwave reception was disturbed by a noise source that spoiled the signal to noise ratio quite a bit here at home. Using the classic procedure of turning off the house electricity breakers and using a battery-powered radio, I found out that the noise source was working somewhere in my home. Inside, it took some more time to find the culprit. Finally, a defective CFL, a compact fluorescent light bulb. Yes, the compact fluorescent light bulb was generating a wide band noise on the radio frequency spectrum. Removing the board from the socket and placing there a new one solved the problem completely. Total solution. But as you may guess, I then wanted to know why the defective light bulb was generating such a terrible radio frequency noise. Opening the assembly very carefully, I was able to remove the circular circuit board and separate it from the fluorescent light bulb. Doing that very carefully, of course. Placing the circuit board under a powerful light source and looking through an also powerful magnifying glass that I used helped to find out where the problem was. A high voltage capacitor interconnecting the light bulb filament was cracked and the green color surface was spotted with black areas, indicating arcing. Arcing was happening there. The electricity was jumping, and that generated the noise. But do not think that I threw away that circuit board. No. Because it went to the recycling bin and waste up. So that's where it's up, where boards from where electronic components can be removed for recycling purposes are kept until the time I have time to do the job. Yes, I kept a note about how many useful parts came out of the circuit board, and of those that tested good, after undergoing a careful testing with good quality test instruments, well, I found out as a matter of fact, most of the parts soldered from the compact fluorescent light bulb circuit board proved to be in like new conditions, making possible to use them to fix broken down equipment or use them to build new radios and audio amplifiers that work very well and cost very little. Amigos, this is Radio Havana Cuba, where you, the listener, tells us what you want to learn about the radio hobby. Yes, you can do it. The questions are most welcome to info.rhc@enet.cu. Again, the email info.rhc@enet.cu. And here's the answer to a recently received group of email messages that brought almost exactly the same question to me. They all were seeking advice on what type of external antenna offers the best result for making the possible stations with rather limited space. Amigos, that's a real challenge. Very challenging question, as the ideal antenna type at one location may prove to fail at another one. If you restrict your shortwave listening to the frequency range between 5 to 22 megahertz and are able to put up two masts that are separated by no less than 20 meters between each other, then an ideal choice would be a wire fan dipole antenna fed with 450 ohms open wire feed line, connected with coaxial cable by means of a type of balloon that can be 1-to-1, 4-to-1, or 9-to-1. That's a balance transformer, balance to unbalance. You can also use open wire transmission line directly within the range from 300 to 500 ohms, and you will achieve the same results. It's a very good antenna. Ideally, your mast must be at least 10 meters high, and the antenna must be installed in a horizontal position and clear of any local objects nearby. This simple 20 meters long dipole is also useful for transmitting on the 60 and 40 meters amateur bands, and accepting some losses, it will work on the 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10 meters amateur bands, making it a multi-band antenna. But it must be used with an antenna tuner, of course. Well, you have just heard my advice. The space is available, the 20 meters overall length fan dipole. You will also be able to pick up stations operating from 5 to 25 megahertz, all services there. More antenna advice in an upcoming edition of DXers Unlimited, with special information for those of you that have a very small area available for installing an external antenna system. And by the way, a smaller version of the half-wave dipole, fan dipole, cut to 15 meters length, 7.5 meters on each side, will work very well from the 40 meters or 7 megahertz band, and the way up to 10 meters or 28 to 29.7 megahertz amateur bands. Always use this antenna with a good quality high network antenna tuner that makes possible to achieve a 1-to-1 standing wave rate within the frequency range from 5 to 30 megahertz. Amigos, sure, DXers Unlimited, the one and only radio hobby program that covers every aspect of the radio hobby, from traveling to a remote uninhabited island to installing ham radio contest stations, to carefully sorting out very small surface-mounted devices, electronic devices, components required to populate the circuit board of a neutral CRT. Way back in 1965, when the World Scuba Diving Championship was organized here in Cuba, at the Cayo Avalos Key, close to the Isle of Youth, I faced the reality of the very challenging job of transporting, installing, and operating a special event station in an isolated small Caribbean island, where we had to move in everything in order to activate the CO4 prefix. My call sign was CO4DL, and it got many nice two-way contacts from all around the world. And now, at the end of the show, a short-form high-frequency propagation update. Very poor daytime propagation conditions, expect them to be very poor. They will improve somewhat after local sunset, and please send your feelings and comments about this program to info@RAC@NSW and via mail. Also very easy to Arnie Coro. My last name is spelled Charlie Oscar Romeo Oscar. Arnie Coro, Radio Havana Cuba, Havana, Cuba.
And that's all for today. This is Arnie Coro, Radio Amateur CO2KK, your host here at Radio Havana's DXers Unlimited, saying 73 and very good DX.
DXers Unlimited heard twice a week, the weekend edition right here and the midweek edition on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, UTC days with Arnie Coro. You've tuned to RHC, Radio Havana Cuba. You can